I'd like to call to order the October 24th, 2019 Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting at 7:01. Jen, roll call, please.
Chairman Dash.
Here.
Commissioner Kempa.
Here.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Here.
Commissioner Taman.
Here.
Commissioner Patel. Absent. Commissioner Mellon.
Here.
And Commissioner Sayward is absent by prior notice.
Okay. So our first item of business is consideration of the July 25th, 2019 PZBA meeting minutes. I believe that there were some comments or corrections suggested.
Yes, and those have been made.
Okay. Anything else from the commissioners?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as corrected.
I'll second.
Jen, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Taman.
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon.
Aye.
And Chairman Dash.
Aye. Okay, so there are no cases of old business this evening, so we will go to our first case of new business.
Okay, thank you. Tonight, we have before us a Plan Commission public meeting. The applicant, Gina Bertolini, is proposing the Big Fish subdivision at 1120 and 1128 North Bury Lane. These are two legal conforming lots that have been purchased, and the applicant is seeking to combine them with the goal of building on one large lot. The applicants are here tonight, so for you to, they can explain their project, and
Should
if you have any
I
questions.
open the public meeting?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'd like a motion, please, to open the public meeting for application number 19-17.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Actually, you know what? Did I read the wrong case number? Hold on.
It's
Did I say 19-15?
You said 17,
Okay,
but that's
yeah.
all right, 19-15.
19-15 is our first case. Okay, so the applicant,
Names and current address for the record, please.
Hi, guys. Nick Bertolini, my wife Gina, currently at 700 French Way, Mount Prospect. Thank you for having us tonight. To give you a little background, the opportunity kind of presented itself to purchase both lots almost simultaneously, and was kind of the perfect setting for where we wanted to build our forever family home. It's very close to our brother-in-law, who lives a little bit down the street and across it. It was kind of just the perfect canvas to build our home. It'll be a ranch, U-shape, 5 bedrooms. We have 2 kids currently and are hoping for more. Do you guys have any questions? We're in the very beginning stages of kind of the development of the plan. The goal is to break ground as soon as the frost breaks in maybe mid-March or early April.
great. I mean, I think the case in front of us is pretty, is outlined pretty well. So I don't have any questions. Anything else from the commissioners?
A question for Director Peterson. On the platted subdivision, it shows that the front setback line is 30 feet. Is that, I thought the standard was 40.
For the current plat of subdivision, is that the one you're looking at?
No, the final plat, Exhibit 3 in the packet.
I would have to research this document. There were certain lots that were platted back when this was unincorporated Cook County. So we have some at 30 feet, some at 40 feet, some at 50 feet. However, our current codes do require a 40-foot setback.
And we've been working under that assumption.
Yep.
So this plat of re-subdivision would require to be brought up to the current code?
What would happen is, even though this is platted with a 30-foot subdivision currently, it could be stated that the house has to meet the current standards as 40, and which was what we would do from the building side, make sure it would be a 40-foot, so that any structure built on this lot would be fully compliant with our current codes.
Anything else? Commissioner Mullen? No.
No, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I'd like, please, a motion to close the public meeting for application number ZBA 19-15.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Voice vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
This will go to the city council on November 11th.
so, and no motion is necessary.
Nope.
Great,
Thank you, thank you.
great, thank you. Okay. Okay, our next item of new business is a Plan Commission public meeting, once again, on case number 19-17. And the applicant is the Thornton's Convenience Store on 16, located at 1600 North Rand Road.
This is, it does have to fall under the final plat process, even though what they're doing is vacating a newly created easement, because at the time they had indications to believe that a sanitary sewer line was in that location. However, after the new plats were recorded and construction started, they discovered that the original easements were the correct to begin with. So this is a cleanup, of vacating of a new one and reverting back to the original one.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Okay, so do we need to open up public meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like a motion, please, to open the public meeting on application number 19-17.
So moved. I'll second.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all those
Oh,
in
I thought
favor?
someone else.
Aye.
Aye.
I apologize.
So thank you, Director Peterson, for those comments. Do the commissioners have any questions? Can I think this is just,
For the record, there, even though there was no city engineer written report, the city engineer did review these plats to make sure that they're accurate.
okay, so I'd like a motion, please, to close the public meeting for case number 19-17.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So this will go to the city council then, Dan?
On the 11th.
Great. Okay, so moving on to our third agenda item under new business. This is a PZBA public hearing for case number 19-16. The applicant is Maxine Barton of Lola's Pizza Palace, currently addressed at 1612 North Rand Road, and the applicant is seeking a special use permit for a sit-down restaurant. I'd like a motion, please, to open the public hearing for application number 19-16.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Dan, why don't you give the
Okay.
comments, then we can swear in our,
All right. The Bartons own Lola's Pizza, which is currently in Prospect Crossing Shopping Center Plaza. They've been inquiring and looking for a facility to grow their business. The property at 1612 North Rand has been a long-standing vacant previous restaurant, the Secret Garden, and the Bartons and the owners of the 1612 property have worked out a lease arrangement for them to move their restaurant to that facility. Because the restaurant use at that facility had been vacated for a number of years, it warrants a new special use hearing for this applicant in that site. I've inspected the lot. It's large enough square footage, however, due to the age and stuff, it will require striping and signage to meet the city parking diameters, and so that would probably be a condition of approval going forward.
great.
Other than that, the Bartons are here to explain their project and answer any questions. In 1 second.
So I'll swear you both in.
Okay.
Do you swear that the testimony you'll be giving this evening will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. And now you just need to state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, thanks for meeting with us tonight. I'm Bruce Maxine Barton. We live at 507 West Techney Road in Arlington Heights. And as Dan said, we've owned Lola's Pizza Palace for now 5 years. Our lease expires at the end of November, and we were looking to move out of that location. And we've been working with Dan's help for the last, since January, to find a new location within Prospect Heights.
Great.
You have something for us?
I do.
Cards, okay.
So our project is to move, we're really looking for more street exposure. We've run into some challenges with, when we originally opened Lola's, one of the advantages was being close to Hersey High School. You're probably aware that when they came back from holiday break in January, they pretty much closed the campus, so a lot of our business at lunchtime has evaporated. We only get a handful of kids at this point. That's all that's allowed to come out of the school. So with that, and it really not having good street exposure, very small signage at the crossings, where you can barely read us going down Rand Road. We were looking for something that gives us some more exposure, and we're confident that's going to help us grow our business. So we're really looking to really redecorate our concept and do more of a tropical theme with our full menu that we offer today, and maybe expanding it with a couple other food items. And then we're also going to apply for a full liquor license. Currently, we've had beer and wine for the last, I believe, 3 years, maybe 4 years. So we want to go to a full bar serving more tropical type drinks.
Be advised that that's not our purview, that will be for the liquor commissioner, and same with any gaming, video gaming that may continue to be requested.
Correct.
Great. So I'm going to ask real quick, is there anyone here this evening that came to speak to this case for providing any public testimony? Okay, so since there's no one here, commissioners, any questions for the applicants this evening? Nope. I know we've met a few times at various functions, and I'm glad that you have focused on finding a new location within town. And I know that previous discussions, you've expressed your concern about not having a ton of drive-by traffic there with your location on Rand Road. So
Right.
I think this new spot will definitely provide that visibility for you.
Yeah, we're sure it will.
Yeah, so, so I guess if there aren't any other discussions from the commissioners, you can be seated, because I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing by
Thank you.
motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'd like a motion, please, to receive into the public record the staff review of compliance of this application with the zoning standards as presented by staff this evening, and to make these standards a part of the official record for the application. A motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I'd like a motion, please, to recommend that the city council approve the applicant's request for a special use permit for a sit-down restaurant with the condition that the parking lot needs to be striped and that the required handicap signage be installed.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Okay. Jen, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner DeGraff,
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon,
Aye.
Commissioner Tamman,
Aye.
Commissioner Kempa,
Aye.
Chairman Dash.
Aye.
Again, this will be on the November 11th City Council for first reading, and we will talk later in the meeting.
Great, thank you. Okay, so that puts us then into updates on our previous applications.
It's been a good month for business here in town. Thornton's finally opened, and they're doing extremely well. Steery Trucking is, had been approved and by the city council, and they were working with staff on their new parking lot design and construction and their they've agreed to and signed the, in principle to the inspection. You know, we had a private property enforcement agreement that was part of the conditions. We've got that all worked out. City council will be approving that on Monday night. So, and then Everclean Car Wash is well under construction in the streets, and hopefully for a spring opening. They do have some issues with IDOT, that's why the asphalt's not poured in the right of way there yet. They get a little ahead of themselves, so we'll see how long that gets held up. So, on that note, things have been good this last month, we've been busy.
I've purchased gas at Thornton's already.
Being a 10-year member of the Thornton's Reward Club, and I just updated my 6-cent savings today. If you join as a member, you get weekly savings above the normal 3 cents and other stuff, so
Okay.
we like it when we spend money on our businesses. So that's the update on previous applications.
So communications,
Wanted to bring the PZBA up to speed. There will be a public hearing next month on the 21st. We don't have an application from anybody other than the city. We will be bringing forward possibly language, text amendment language regarding the adult recreational use of cannabis. As everyone's aware, beginning in January, adult recreational use is legal within the state of Illinois. And we're in the process of a committee looking at, is it something that the city wants to get into? And if they do, at what kinds of levels do we want to go, and what tax levels there will be. The committee met for the first time last week, and based on information, and I will get this information to the ZBA next week, are in support of adult use. In 2018, there was a non-binding referendum on the general election ballot, and in the city of Prospect Heights, on average, over 60% of the residents who voted were in favor of adult use of cannabis. The city has been doing an electronic survey out, and the percentages of those individuals responding to that survey are pretty much matching what the electors did. So that being said, the committee is going to be presenting their first summary to the city council on Monday night, requesting that they still continue work to help look at the other issues that need to be addressed under the law.
and that meeting is November 21st?
Yep, what will happen, the goal of and again, this is all predicated on the fact if the city council, A, directs them based on their work so far to keep working, and B, look to favor opting into the adult cannabis use. Because under the law, for a city to even be considered to get a business to operate in their town, 3 things have to happen prior to January 1. Number 1, the city has to make a decision whether they opt in to accept licenses or businesses to have licenses. 2, they have to adopt rules that prohibit, minor use similar to tobacco and alcohol. And then 3, they have to adopt some zoning text about the businesses. What do they want to, what types of business do you want? Retail sales? Do you want cultivation centers, craft growers, possibly social lounges where you can on premise like a bar, so to speak? And then do they, have those definitions in the city code? Whether or not they adopt in or out, they still need to be in the codes, because if they ever change the policy, if they don't vote for it right now, it has to be there by law. Okay, so you still have to define it. You don't have to create the use for it. So those at a minimum are going to be forthcoming. But if the council continues to move in favor, this body will be also charged with having an open hearing next month on various text amendments about what zones would be appropriate, where not it can go, listen to the public testimony and and make recommendations from there. Additionally, the city, if they choose to opt in, there's retail tax benefit. We would get our 1.5% retail sales plus up to an additional 3% off the recreational tax rate. So all of that is being weighed right now. There's no clear cut. The council did establish this committee to do the research and provide recommendations, which is what they're working on, and then it will come to this body prior to going to city council.
Are the members on the committee residents of Prospect Heights, or are there any
Yes.
consultants?
They're all 5 residents. We have, and it's public knowledge, Sharon Hoffman from the Police and Fire Commission, Sandy Stricker, who is a 38-year practicing RN, and brings that. Deputy Fire Chief Tim Jones to provide zoning background and the fire district's ideas. Tom Heitnick, who is a CPA and has been a longtime resident, whose wife is a volunteer at the police department. And then Alderman Wendy Morgan Adams is the liaison for the council, and I'm the staff support.
And is the survey being advertised in the weekly email?
Yes, and there's still opportunities for the public to go onto the city's website and look at the adult cannabis survey. And it's, there's a handful of questions. Right now, 98% of the respondents are either residents or business owners in town, and on average, 60% of the people are in favor of it. The only area where it's not a clear cut in favor is on the social lounges, which for on-premise consumption, and that's at about 50-50. So there are a lot of issues that have to still be weighed out, looked at. There's going to be reasonable restrictions on distances from schools and daycares and those types of things. However, it's all very fresh and being discussed now. So the city has charged this commission or committee and myself with getting the groundwork ready so they can move forward. But once over the next 2 weeks, it'll be working fast track because of the deadlines to try and meet the January 1st deadline. So that's just an update on where we're at with the adult recreational use. And there will be a public hearing process at this level, and we're going to be trying to get the word out as best we can via our e-news. There may or may not be a mailing, and we will have other media outlets. So those decisions are forthcoming and will be at direction of council.
Great. Any other communications?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so I guess with no further business, do I have a motion to adjourn our October 24th, 2019 Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.